Hello and welcome to my pitch. Today we're going to be discussing my FMP and what I'm going to be making. So I'm going to be doing a Converse commercial since I have such a knowledge of advertising and I really enjoy making posters and adverts. And I have such a huge collection of Converse shoes already that I really want to try and incorporate two of my passions together to make a hopefully successful campaign / advertising for Converse. So these are just some kind of design posters that I really like. I really like the sort of colours and the way the fonts go along with the pictures, and I just think they look really smart, really nice. So here's like a brief kind of overview of what I'm going to be doing. So the contents of my FMP would consist of a range of adverts and posters for Converse. So I will be aiming to make about 6 pieces for commercials and 2 posters. One of the posters is going to be like a billboard poster, so about in the 16:9 ratio, more long, and then there's also going to be a poster like a traditional A4 kind of poster. The 4 commercials will consist of 4 adverts, 2 of which will be for sort of social media and 2 of which will be made for YouTube. I want to try and make 2 animated posters along with this as well. So with the adverts, there will be 2 kind of like animated style short adverts and then 2 real world adverts just to show off the use case of the shoes. The main area I will advertise / promote my advert will be on YouTube after doing extensive research and finding out that's where the majority of clothing brands would promote their products. So I've noticed that clothing brands such as Converse, Vans, Dickies, they mainly promote their products within the YouTube realm, which is very interesting, and will not promote their clothes on YouTube, which is normally about a 30-second to 1-minute advert, unskippable before a YouTube video, sort of within that sort of realm of what you're watching. So if you're watching like clothing brand or clothing videos on YouTube, the majority of the time you'll get a clothing advert beforehand. That's meaning I will be making it about 30 seconds long, so that'll be overall there'll be about 4 minutes worth of adverts across the 4 videos that I will be making. After doing some research, I have come to the realization that the company Converse does not have any specific advertising already, which is a whole new sector for me to look into. I would really want to try and incorporate the brand culture and the sort of recognition that they have. Obviously they are very climate sustainable and they are known for the recyclable materials that they would use within their shoes. So I really want to try and incorporate that within my commercial and sort of, make sure I have all the brand kind of recognition and all the things that makes the brand stand out as Converse, and make sure that's woven within my commercial. So these are some kind of posters that I would really want to try and recreate within mine. I really like the one with the green shoes. I just find that wall kind of shot, and with having that logo just in the top corner, I think it's really quite clean and sleek, and it really showcases the shoes and the jeans, which are Converse branded as well. I really like these kind of simple posters with like the more smaller picture and then like the big font within it as well. So why Converse and advertising and the specific USP / target market? Considering the USP or the target market, I want to make sure this includes plenty of graphics, fun slogans and bright colours. So within my research and just prior knowledge, Converse seems to be worn with people between the ages of around sort of teenagers to young adults. To be fair, Converse is for everybody really, but majority of their target market or their sort of market area is teenagers and young adults. So making sure something bright and colourful and really eye-catching, I think, is really important to be within the target market. So many of the shoe companies that I have looked into, Vans, Converse, Adidas as well, have a bunch of fast-paced adverts which I can loosely base my advert on, and which will allow me to compare and contrast different company ideas and use this to my advantage when creating my own advert for Converse. So really looking into other companies as well as Converse and Vans is really important, so I'm able to sort of see what works for other companies and what doesn't, and if it works within the sort of realms that I'm sort of looking into. My advert will be very different to a typical kind of shoe advert. I really want to sell a lifestyle that goes along with. These are some kind of inspirational existing adverts that I really want to loosely base my adverts on. When I was doing my research, I just found these 2 to be very standout. The Vans advert on the top left-hand corner is made by Vans themselves, and the Converse one is made by students, which I think is really good to see student work as well. Admittedly, the Converse one is from a uni-based student. However, it's really good to see student-based films as well and sort of see the direction that I could take with mine. So the Vans ones, they solely use skateboards and it's very graphic based. I will be using a skateboard in mine as well because I think it sort of adds to the kind of brand. Obviously mine will not be as intense skating as this because I don't know how to skate. So my target market is, like I said before, for people around the ages of 16 to 28. That's kind of like my target market. So within my adverts and posters, I would want to really kind of have a kind of retro sort of 80s, 90s style within my posters that I create. So like these ones here, you know, the one with the young boy was from 1988. And this, and then the one next to it, the orange shoes, that's from... it's a more modern poster, but they made it to sort of hark back to that older design, which is what I really want to include within my posters as well. So I really like the existing style of Vans and Converse posters, and being a skater brand, they normally include a sort of a rough finish to their shoes. So they've either got some kind of mud or some kind of imperfection within them, just to show that they are rough and ready, and they can be used in all kinds of situations, whether that be skating or just walking or just anything. Majority of Converse shoes that you see or people own, they're pretty rough and ready because they have lasted for years and years, and I really want to include that within my commercial. So the concept around my idea will be that it's filmed in a skate park. This is kind of the ideal location for a shoe brand. I've seen many kind of shoe companies do stuff in skate parks, and I just think that's the ideal location. There isn't necessarily a main character in my advert, but there is like a kind of a main protagonist, which I guess you could call the main character, but he will just be like showing off the shoes. There won't be any kind of like story necessarily as such. Once again, there's no speech/narration because obviously it's an advert. There'll be music over the top, but there won't necessarily be any kind of talking to the camera as such. There will be a clear story within my commercials of a young skater going around on his skateboard and through the park and walking through the woods, just showcasing the shoes, the different colours representing different places. The majority of the commercial will be filmed in different locations across the woods and along tight roads, skate parks, and in town and around, just to show the kind of different use cases and the different types of shoes for different places. The events that would unfold within the commercial is someone having a good time and enjoying themselves in nature or in and around the skate park and just living their kind of teenage dream, if you would call it that. So thank you for watching/listening to my Converse advertising pitch. I hope you enjoy. If you have any questions, please ask. Thank you.